This is Mari Robeson of Love Lulu Creative, a podcast that supports and celebrates artists and creative entrepreneurs while giving back to the community in a unique and meaningful way. This is episode number 27, and I am so excited. I have such a treat for you today. And for me, it was my very first European interview. Who knew? All the way from California to Liverpool, England, I have the very talented Anthony Tambourini on the show today. He does gorgeous architectural renderings, and I just love his work. And speaking of love, love is what brought him back to his work. So this is a really charming story. You guys are really going to like this. And if you are liking these episodes, if you would please subscribe to the channel, I would really deeply appreciate it. It really helps in supporting this mission of supporting the arts. And if you've already subscribed, just share it with your friends. There's tons of helpful advice and information here, and it's just all here serving it up to you and this wonderful artist community. I appreciate every single one of you. And that's it. Stay tuned now for a really interesting and fun episode with the very talented Anthony Tambourini. Hi, Anthony. I'm so happy to have you on my podcast today. I am a huge fan of your work. I love your renderings, and I just can't wait to dive into your story and everything about you.
Oh, thank you, Mary. Appreciate it.
And also, you are my very first European interview.
Oh, wow.
This is super exciting.
Fame at last.
And I'm loving the accent. It's so good. It's so good.
Thank you.
So, speaking of accent and Europe, where are you located?
I'm in Liverpool, England. Okay. I work in accountancy, and part-time I do illustration.
Okay. Well, we're gonna see that shift, I have a feeling, because I have an eye for emerging, incredibly talented artists, and you are one of them, which is why I wanted to have you on the show. I found you on Instagram, or you found me, or we found each other somehow. I think it was between Tug Rice, and somehow we got connected, and your work is just really just gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much. I came across you through Tug Rice, and he said to me, "Why don't you listen to Marie?" And she gives really good advice and very encouraging towards people who are out there in the art world.
Yay! That's the mission.
That's it.
So yes, Tug, he's amazing, and also, wow, he's just taken off his illustration. He was, I think, on one of my first couple episodes, episode number 3 or something. I'll link to it.
Yeah, I listened to that. Yeah,
in the notes. Yeah. Okay, so you're from Liverpool, England, and where you always lived there? Is that where you grew up?
Yeah, that's where I was born. So
And so your illustration is sophisticated. So you actually know, you're not like you just started doing something on the side. Like, you've been doing this a long time. So did you go study at a university, or how did you get into your artwork?
Well, when I was young, I got into drawing about 7 or 8, and people were saying to me that this is really good. And when you're young, you just think, oh, okay. And then school-wise, I excelled in school, drawing-wise, and won a few awards in school. And then I started to realise that maybe I can draw. And then I had a few interviews regarding stuff like where do I want to go in life and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then one of my art teachers there said, "Why don't you go into graphic design? Because you've got an eye for detail, mm-hmm. etc." And mm-hmm. I went, "Oh, I haven't thought about it." So, and then this person kept on pushing me, and my mother pushed me, etc. And I studied it for the exams like that, and I came out top. little been known to me that I could do this. So I didn't realize that it could be a profession at that time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on from there. So I left school, and there wasn't much work in Liverpool at the time. So I went to London, and within a week, I showed my work, and I got offered 3 jobs there.
Doing graphic design?
As a junior designer, yeah.
Mm.
And well, I was only 17 at the time, you see. So going to a big city,
Yeah.
yeah, I was a bit daunted. And then again, I was getting into, like, the party atmosphere of London and stuff like that, and holy word, lots of money and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on from there. So yeah.
So I read somewhere that were you doing book illustration also at that time?
Book illustration, yeah, and lots of magazine work and packaging.
And were you doing these type of architectural illustrations, or it was just whatever the graphic design project was calling for?
Whatever was given to me on the table, said, "Can you do this?" And I get some background, and I say, "Yeah, I can do that," and then I did it.
Very cool. So you did that for a while, and then you said that you're an accountant. Is that correct?
Well, I deal with tax.
So, okay, there's the kind of the perfect blend of an artist who knows how to do the books.
Yeah, I like that.
All of his artists are like, can someone just do our accounting for us? So, well, that's nice. That works together well.
Well, in a way, yeah.
So you were doing graphics and stuff, and you were in London, and then what happened?
I was there for about 2 years or so, and then I did some work over in Paris at the time. And well, that was like tax work, and then I moved on to there for a couple of months, stayed there for a while, and then I just started to lose interest regarding my drawing wise. I was just enjoying living, blah blah blah, and it kind of came to a point where I thought, I was looking around everywhere, and I was thinking, I'm losing touch with what's going on here, i.e., illustration work, drawing wise, styles and stuff like that. And I just thought, well, I don't know. I just went through a bit of a phase where I thought, no, I can't do this anymore. It was like the self-doubt kicks in, like with all artists kind of thing. And I just lost interest. But I always kept an eye. But I just thought, no, I don't want to do that anymore, which was a shame, to my immortal shame right now. But yeah, thankfully I'm back in the game now, as they say, or back in the saddle, whatever you want to call it.
So what made you? Is that kind of new now that you've come? How long have you gotten back into doing your illustrations again?
2 years now.
A few years. So what made you want to shift into? What made you wake up one day and go, you know what? I think I want to pick up a pen again and start doing these gorgeous renderings.
Thank you. It's a bit of a long story, but
well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
we're here for the story.
After it's been a few decades, to tell you the truth, and I, as I say, I always kept an eye on it, and I thought, yeah, I could do better than that, but should I? Would anyone notice? And then, thankfully, I met someone who believed in me. Maybe that's what I just needed anyway. At the end of the day, and she said, well, my girlfriend right now said, you need to stop working and concentrate on what you're doing, drawing wise and illustration wise. And I thought, no, the usual self doubts kicked in and stuff. And then I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to basically win this love of the girl, I'll have to show it. So I thought, right, I'm going to show this girl, no one else, just her, and say what I can do. And then the next, it's carried on from that. And 2.5 years on, I'm here. I'm here where I am now.
That is such a beautiful story.
Thank you.
She's your muse.
Well, I've been saying that since day one, but yeah, I think she is.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank
Well,
you.
you had shared with me that you had gone through kind of a rough patch for a little while too. Was that part of letting go of the art, or how did you? Well, it sounds like you kind of came back to it through this love with your girlfriend.
Yeah, well, I think that I got through through a lot of hardship, and I thought, I can't waste what I've got, because I wanted to make my son proud, and I wanted to make her proud, and whoever's around me. And to this day, I'm still surprised what's happened. I'm still pinching myself. I feel like I'm going to wake up and think it's just like a dream, but fortunately, it's not. It's real.
Yeah, it's real. I think that's a really sweet story and it's also really an eye-opening story. I love that this is a visual podcast because I'm going to be showing your illustrations as we're speaking, and they are so detailed and so really a gift that you have, that someone like you to have any kind of self-doubt is kind of shocking to me, but it makes you very real, because it seems like the greatest artists out there, they just question themselves, and you need to stop that now.
No, everyone says that to me. I know, and I will.
So why do you like to draw architecture?
Well, how do I explain that? I just find it easy, to tell you the truth. I struggle.
Gosh. You find it easy.
Yeah.
Cricket.
Lines and like intricate detail. I could do it with my eyes closed. But say if someone said to me, "Can you draw me? Can I draw yourself?" And I go, no. I said, no, I can't do it, because I go into a panic thinking, no, I can't do it. But if someone puts a building in front of me, I'll do it.
Wow.
Which is a bit strange.
So what was the first drawing that you did when you decided to make one for your girlfriend?
Well, God, there's been so many.
But was it an architectural building? Was it of significance, or?
No. It was a kind of like a stencil, a graffiti stencil of her face, and and lots of that graffiti stencil of her face is around Liverpool and London and in Paris and stuff like that. So I've got that side of me as well. I like to do stencil work as well. So that's how I started.
Wow. So is it mainly ink do you use ink on paper or using an iPad? Like, how are you sketching these illustrations?
Ink on paper.
The old school, that's right.
Yeah, I love it. I love the old school. I'd love to try the iPad work and stuff like that. Hence took Rice, because he does it like effortlessly. I just think I haven't. I've tried it, but I'm not there yet. One day I will get there.
Me too.
That's the future, isn't it? But I just do it at the moment. I can't do it. My mind will say, right, this is it now. You've got to pick up this where you can erase anything just like that. But no, I'd rather be at my desk all night, tearing my head out instead of like,
the iPad thing, it's I like it for like handwriting and stuff, but I have not mastered the drawing on the iPad. Although I think it's amazing what digital artists do, but I'm just old school, like paint
it's
and
a whole
canvas.
to me. It really is. I just think, no, I can't do that yet. Just give me a pen.
Yeah, I like your style. I like how like the little tiny cross hatching, and like it's really detailed. And the fact that you can just look at something and just capture it so proportion and scale and perspective is really incredible. I also really like the ones that you've done where like the arch that you have with the bike, and you added a little bit of color. How did you bring that color into that?
Well, that was originally I was in the south of France at the time, and I seen the actual archway with the bike, and we had to take a second look, and it was originally a painting.
Hmm.
The bike is inside the archway, and it's a painting inside in the south of France. So I took a photo, and I thought, right, I could do that easy, and then I did it. Now, what my next step is, so I did it. It's all there to see. My next step is to knock on that person's door and say, I've done this, or your painting, would you care to like it? Well, use it or want it. So that's my, but yeah, the colour wise, it was basically from memory. So.
But did you use watercolor, or how did you add the color?
It was just like fine tip pens, just like usually like in like 0.1s and 0.2.
Oh yeah. So okay, I don't know if I'm just not understanding your accent very well, but did you say that it was an illustration you did of another painting? Is that what you said? Oh, I see. It wasn't actually like a thing. Like
I'll send you the original.
Oh, that's photo. Interesting.
And then you can take it from there.
Oh,
but I did my own version of colours wise from memory when I got back home.
And then I also noticed that you did a lot of some Native American Indians. I mean, that was a stretch. That's like a whole different.
Oh, well, that put me really out there, because I got an email a while back, the first year into it, and saying, "Can you do like a series of Native American art?" And then I have to double check to see if this person was real. And it turned out that they were. And I said, well, what do you want? They said, well, we want we want like 4 of like, I'm not really clued up on Native American art, but I did it, and they loved it. And this is in like somewhere in America, and I believe it's in galleries around America way. So
it was an interior design firm that contacted you? Yeah. And did they see your work on Instagram? Is that how they found you?
Through Instagram, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, everybody. If you're an artist, make sure that you have your stuff on Instagram so that you can have people contact you.
Yeah.
That's and interior designers are wonderful to work with, because they're great. They're great clients, and so that's great.
It's a different world again, as I say. So there's so much of it. Sorry, go on.
Sorry. So you do commissions, then you're open to doing commissions.
I do indeed, yes. I do indeed.
So not only are you really fabulous with these architectural renderings, but you're also really good with people. So you can pretty much draw anything.
Yeah, well, at a stretch.
But your passion is to draw architecture, correct?
Architecture, yeah. And yeah, any buildings that give people like special memories and stuff like that, or, cities. Not necessarily Paris, London, and wherever. I can do anywhere, but depends what the person wants.
So do you actually make like how long does it take you to get to Paris from where you are? Yeah, across the English Channel.
50 minutes.
Really? That's that's so quick to get there. Wow, that's great. So do you take like a day trip over there and you just spend a day just drawing different amazing places in Paris? That sounds like such a dream.
you must try it. It's I try to get there as much as possible, to tell you the truth, and with it being so cheap, flight wise, I just go for a wander around there. I've made a lot of friends over there, and take photos, draw, and
I would love that. I know when I went to Italy a couple of years ago, I was obsessed with drawing the buildings and stuff, but I'm very different. My style is very different than yours. But I was so inspired by all the architecture that's so old and has so much history there. And it was really...
Whereabouts in Italy?
When I was in Italy. Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts?
Oh, I went to Florence and to Rome, and then down the Amalfi Coast. Was really fun. Wow. Yeah. It was a great trip. It was awesome. It was awesome coming from an artist's perspective, studying all of these iconic places and then actually seeing them in front of me And my husband too, who's was his major was architecture. So we both were kind of our jaws were like on the ground the whole time.
Yeah, in your elements, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it was really amazing. Okay, well, goodness. So now what are you going to do? Now what? Now what's going to happen with all these beautiful illustrations that you have?
Oh, well.
Can we buy them from you?
Yeah, you can indeed. Funny enough, I've opened up my online shop, which that's now up and running on Shopify, on my links in my bio on Instagram, etc.
Great. I'll put it in the show notes here too.
Thank you.
So your work, it looks like, I mean, it's really would be great to be in some editorials and maybe some websites or things like that. Are you looking at doing more gallery work? What's your vision for the future?
Well, at the moment,
well, that's a good one. And fun.
Currently, I'm currently in discussion with two major websites about displaying my work on their platform, and they're hoping to sell my work as well.
Great.
And as for the art galleries, I'm always on the lookout. It could be like a small cafe, it could be a gallery, anywhere in the world. I'm just trying to find the right place. You know.
Well, so everybody listening to this, go out and buy some of your pieces right now because you're going to be really happy you bought them when. So, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about your creative journey?
Let's see. Regarding advice to the younger self, how about that?
Yeah, your advice to your younger self, because there's a lot of people that are listening to these episodes that are just in high school and looking at maybe pursuing a career in the arts. So, yeah, what would be your advice for that?
Well, I made a few notes because I'm always making notes.
I love it. I love it.
Reams and reams of paper everywhere. But I'd say, let's see. First one would be compete only with yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Avoid measuring yourself by how many shows you've gotten yourself into or awards that you've won. And which really is my main bugbear is stay clear of today's obsession of how many likes people get on Instagram, Twitter, whatever,
Yeah.
And I think most importantly, what I know is to seek validation internally, because you're not going to please everyone, but you must please yourself first. That's all that matters.
That is really true. That's really true. And I hope that those algorithms are kind of starting to figure out that in fact, I think Instagram is getting to a point where they're going to even stop showing likes, because it is a really challenging thing for anybody to put their work out there. It's a very vulnerable place.
Yeah.
And then, if it's not being received or you perceive it as not being received, that you shouldn't pay any attention to that. So I really, really like that. And I like that internal validation because people are so finicky. You can't please everybody. You just got to please yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I remember my mother said, she said that, obviously she couldn't be biased. She said that I'm unique, but we all are, aren't we? Because there's something special in us all. We shouldn't seek validation from, as I say, likes or whatever. Or you can buy your likes nowadays, can't you? On Instagram.
Don't do that.
No, don't.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful just in life, that whole, we're all different and we are all unique. I mean, that's a huge compliment. If somebody said to me, you're unique, I would be like, thank you. I don't want to be like anybody else. I mean, that's
no.
And especially as an artist, we really want to find our own way that is very special and is our own selves, our own style.
Our own identity, yes. Yeah.
So what was the best advice ever given to you?
Well,
More notes?
let's, let's see. Let me think for a minute. Right. Okay. The best advice I can think of at the moment is it's from the book by Elizabeth Gilbert called The Big Magic, which a few people might know about.
Great.
And she said, oh, it's amazing. And she said, it doesn't matter if it's been done a million times before, it hasn't been done by you. And I thought, well, there you go. Because what I do, it's been done a million times over. The Eiffel Tower, London, etc. But again, it hasn't been done by anyone else, has it? So it's your own individual style.
Yeah, that's again really, really helpful advice. I think that I like that a lot. And that's a great book, and I will definitely link it in the show notes too, as well. Well, we are really looking forward to. I really have to. It was such a funny story because I was scrolling through my list of artists to interview, and I came across your image on Instagram, and I was like, God, I really need to have him on the show. Yeah. And then right at that second, you DM'd me. It was meant to be. It is your time to shine. So thank you again for being on the show. And you are my featured artist for the month of October. So I'm very excited to have you here. Thank you again for sharing with us so generously today.
No problem.
Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've liked this podcast and you'd like to support it even more, you can join me over on patreon.com/Mari Robeson and become a patron of mine. If you're a patron of mine, you'll receive bonus episodes every month, only for patrons. You'll also receive 20% off all the merchandise in my online shop, marirobeson.bigcartel, and you will be receiving free printables every month that will be of my artwork, and they're some really fun things. You can follow along on Instagram and you can see what I'm creating just for my patrons. I would deeply appreciate it. It would help me keep the lights on, and it would help me pay all the fees that it takes to put together a podcast like this so that I can keep supporting all the artists, keep bringing you great information, keep paying it forward to the next generation of artists. It's just a wonderful thing, and I would really deeply appreciate your support.